And let me go ahead and tell you, bro, you ain't got to fight the flesh because the flesh is not who you truly are.
That's
The
right.
spirit is who you truly are. You
That's
have
right.
been made one in spirit with the Lord. You have gotten a new heart and you've got a new spirit. But again, in our soul realm, our mind, our will, and our emotions, that's where we're learning and we're growing. And when we operate in our flesh, that's the thing about it, man. It's crazy. You said, Lord, help keep me in the spirit. Here's the thing that we need to understand. As believers, we are always in the spirit. I know people go to church sometime and they run and they shout and they say, man, we sure did have church today. We were in the spirit. And I'll correct them and say, no, you were in the spirit when you woke up, because when you believed in Christ Jesus, you were baptized into the spirit. You got the Holy Spirit. So when you walked into church, you already had the spirit. You got the spirit at work. You got the
Yeah,
spirit in the grocery store. You got the spirit in Walmart. You got the spirit everywhere.
that's
But the
right.
thing is the Bible talks about, Paul talks about there's two ways to walk. You can either walk by the flesh or walk by the spirit.
Right? So all that means is you have a bunch of people that are listening to you, whether you're talking about the gospel, whether you're talking about anything else outside of the gospel. So that it might not have anything to do with the gospel.
Right,
So
right, right.
as you're saying, ponder your dreams, I want people to, I believe, my personal belief, and I believe it's yours as well, that we need to surround ourselves with people that are not only supportive of our dreams, but I'm going to say people that can give you something, and sometimes it may not be a believer, people that give you something that you can use, right?
Come
A
on,
lot of
sir. Right.
times, prayerfully, you'll surround yourself with believers, but a lot of times for people that aren't praying or people that aren't in the scriptures like that, they don't have a way of recognizing those people, like those genuine people that are really in the scriptures. So what I would say is, if you're pondering a dream, right? First of all, and I also like that you did this. You're telling people that they need to dream, right?
Yes,
Whoever
yes.
that was that told adults, once you're an adult, you don't need to dream. I'm absolutely coming against that, and I'm going to say your dream is what God has given you. Now, and then that we could get into what is a dream. Was it, all these different things, but we're not going to go there. What I
Right,
want to
right.
do is I want to 100% say, number one, make a list of the people that you would count as influencers, right? Look at where they are in their lives. That would be my first way to judge them, right? Look at where they are in their lives. Are they content? Are they moving forward? Are they someone who you would trust to help you foster your dream, right? Is it someone that you would trust to uh, uh, speak on behalf of your dream, right? You gotta
Mm.
first decide if because that's the kind of influencer. If we're talking about influence, that's who we want. We want someone that's gonna throw another log on that flame, right? Because a lot of
Right,
times
right.
it's right here and we don't know about it. It's a dream. It's right here. We don't know about it, but they're embers. Like when you start that fire, they're embers. It's not a full
Right.
fledged flame yet.
Don't judge me the way I look, because we all have skeletons in the closet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? One
man.
sin is no greater than the other. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, so you're saying that just because I have earrings or piercings, or you know what I mean, or tattoos, oh well, if you evade this or evade that, or if you're cheating this person out of money, or if you're lying, or if you're stealing, isn't that all a sin? So which one is
Right,
greater than the other? You know
right,
what I mean?
right, right, right.
So we can go and we can go to church, and like you said, we can do the fake amens. We can look good in church, but when push comes to shove, who's bearing the fruit? You know, if your fruit is all stinky and smelly, has fruit flies on it.
Come on, sir.
You know what I mean?
I
Because
love I love the fact that you just said who's bearing the fruit. You didn't say who's producing the fruit.
yeah,
Because I've heard people talk about how believers produce fruit, and I say, nah, that's actually not accurate. Jesus produces the fruit in you. You simply get to bear the fruit that he produces in you.
And again, this is just, me speaking for me, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's really easy to forget that the gospel is the news of what God has done.
Come on.
It is not a religion about what we do.
Come on, sir.
They're two very, very, very different things.
Yes.
So one of the things that I try to unpack, within the ministry of Lark that I lead and just, among friends, where I live, etc., is I think a lot of our ministry stems, in my opinion, from a misunderstanding of what's going on in the garden. Okay. So this is a way of me answering your question. If you look at the Garden of Eden and you see Adam and Eve and their choice to eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? By the way, while they're sitting in the shade of the tree of life.
Right. Oh my God.
Just saying. They're looking at something else, and ultimately they're seeing that the beauty of that tree and recognizing the value of it is not anything that is wrong. What was wrong is their obsession with the myth of control, their desire to be God, to be in control of their lives and to be in control of the world. That's ultimately what it was. And so that's what they chose. Well, here, listen, that spirit of self-reliance that you see in Adam and Eve, that's alive and well in every single person who's ever lived since.
Come on, man.
Me and you included. That's why the scriptures refer to sin as like nature, spirit, right? Self-reliance, this myth of independence that runs in our veins. That's why we're all right, flawed and foolish and frail. The good news is God is not. So my point here is, if you see the act of Adam and Eve as disobedience to God, then your Christianity will be all about how to make better decisions for God.
Yeah.
So again, if you see it as disobedience, then everything is about making better decisions for God, which is why we have endless expectations to keep, and we have checklists to meet, and we have canned religious recipes for successful living, right? Just they're coming at us from everywhere. Now, if you instead look at the garden and go, no. The issue wasn't disobedience, it was distrust.
Come on, man.
Then the solution is not better decisions, it's dependence.
Yes.
So when Jesus becomes flesh, when God becomes flesh, he shows us what true humanity actually looks like. And true humanity is a life of faith, of trust, of dependence on the God who made us to dwell and walk with him.
A lot of times I feel like, man, we're looking for a thing when we're talking about a love.
Yeah.
Grown, in a lot of in the US, period, people suffer with obesity, and things of that nature. But when you really think about it, when you were a kid growing up and your grandma had everybody over, had you and your mom and the auntie that she just bailed out, the uncle that she caught smoking in the house, and she prepared that meal, and that was her showing love.
Yes.
So, and to compare that to obesity and things of that nature, that becomes a way that we identify love. That's how you get comfort food.
Right.
So it's like, if that's the only way we see love, that's the only way we feel loved. We overindulge.
Wow.
And, and on the back end of that overindulging, because it becomes one-sided.
Right.
Hypertension, diabetes, back pains and all the things that come with it.
Right.
But what did that come from? It came from misidentifying love.
Right. Right.
So it's just, you know, ultimately, like as it regards to all of the all-encompassing purpose of love in our lives, it really boils down to proper identification of it,
Wow. Come on.
and understanding that what's already been done for us is the greatest love, and us in turn recycling and repurposing what's given to us to the world
Right.
is love's best use.
Wow. Man, that's so good. I love that, when what you just said about misapplying or misappropriating love, and how that can take us askew. And you're right, that's going to lead us into our next question. That's what we're going to talk about in a second. But I also love the fact that you're saying, but when we recognize what we've already been given, because we both know that the two basic things that all human beings need is love and acceptance. And once you know that you're already loved and you're already accepted, and you receive that and you take that in, it's so much easier from that knowing to be able to disseminate that and to give it back in an appropriate way.
But it's just like when the prostitute was about to get stoned. You know what I'm saying?
man.
The love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nowadays it's something would happen like that, and I've seen it, not necessarily a prostitute, but I've seen the stuff go on in church, you know, the religious thing and all that, just the backbiting, the talking, and you know what I'm saying? It's just because of who you are or where you are, or it's coming to a more or less of a, you know, look at me or look what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to bash nobody. I'm just saying that we need to get back into, it's not, and same thing with competition. It's not a competition of who runs what or how many. The thing of it is, we all need to look at, we all are all in this together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
man.
are the church. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, other people inside here. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not for us to hold it inside. It's for us to show out, let our light shine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To go out, you know what I mean? The highways and byways, like it says, and let people know what we have, everybody can have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let our light shine for people, not just on Sunday or Wednesday or whatever. It's not just a 1-2 day thing. It's a 7 days a week, 24/7. You know what I mean? 365 days a year.
On Jesus. He didn't keep his eyes on the perspective of the earth. He kept his eyes on the heavenly perspective.
That's when that fog kicks in.
That's right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
That fog, man.
That fog, yeah.
That's when that fog kicks in. If y'all don't know, it's that favor of God. That's when people start getting jealous. Let them get jealous, man. Because when you're doing the right thing, when you have the favor of God, it's like you look around and you're like, when they say things are impossible with man, but things are possible with God, you're like, oh, man, how in the world did that? Oh, that's that fog, man. That's the fog.
Man, that's that favor of God, baby.
Fog, bro.
Yeah.
That's what makes me get all happy. And look, it's not just only when you're on the mountain, even in the valley, you still got to be happy because look, he's the same today, yesterday, and forever. He'll never change. Yeah, we change. Our love changes all the time.
Yeah.
But you know what? His love never changes. That's what I love so much, because I shouldn't be here. I should not be sitting here. I didn't think I'd make it to 20 or 30 years old with my lifestyle. And here I am finna get senior citizen discount next. Good.
Senior citizen discount.
I thought it used to be like 55, bro. Now it's gonna be like 50, man. I mean,
you about to be able to walk in the Waffle House and get the senior citizen discount, Bo. Get that free waffle on Saturday.
I can't believe
Yeah,
that,
man.